Alright, hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a good day. So I am back. Sorry I've not been posting for a while. I've been really busy with schoolwork. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and get back to the videos again. It's kind of hard right now. I've been working on my schoolwork till like 4 p.m. every day, and then after that I have other stuff to do. So I'm gonna try and be more productive and actually be able to do videos now. But the weather is finally starting to get active again, so we're gonna be talking about that today. Let's get started. So right now, this is Major Hurricane Epsilon. It is a Category 3 with 150 mile per hour winds. We can see it has a pretty beautiful eye right there, and it's overall just a really nice looking hurricane. It's one of the nicest looking hurricanes we've probably had this hurricane season. We haven't really had that many major hurricanes this season. We've only had 3. Yeah, no, we've had 4. I'm pretty sure, if I'm right. Which is enough. We don't really need any major hurricanes, but we've had 4s here. But as we can see, it's a really nice looking hurricane right now. Let's go to the National Hurricane Center. It is a Category 3 of 115 mile per hour winds, a minimum central pressure of 951 millibars, and it is moving west-northwest at 10 miles per hour. So in that direction, towards Bermuda. Let's look at the wind history. This thing has a very big tropical storm force wind field. If we go to warning cone images, look at this wind field right here. That is the current tropical storm force wind field. And that is about the size. If we move that over here, that would pretty much be the size of central and eastern New York, eastern and central PA, all of New Jersey, northern Delaware, all of Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, southern and central Maine. So that is a very big tropical storm force wind field. The hurricane wind field is medium-sized. But as you guys can see, we have tropical storm warnings out for the east there, or pretty much for all of Bermuda, right there. You can see the blue right there. And it's forecasted to die. It's forecasted to be a major hurricane. But then by tomorrow afternoon, it's forecasted to dive down or weaken a little bit down to a normal hurricane, not major. And that's how it's supposed to stay for a while. And then it's going to make a northeast turn and go kind of with a jet stream. Now let's look at the wind speed probabilities. Bermuda, you're in or around the 50 to 70% chance for tropical storm force winds. It's kind of hard to tell exactly where you are, but yeah, you're in that area. And Bermuda, you're almost experiencing tropical storm force winds already. They're really close to you. You probably are getting tropical storm force wind gusts right now. Now let's switch topics here. So the severe weather, we might actually have a little bit of severe weather going on tomorrow. And so we're going to be looking at that today, because I'm kind of excited for it. So I did make a forecast for you guys. This didn't take too long, but it's a forecast brick. Sorry about that. So here's my forecast for tomorrow. First, let's look at the SPC. The SPC, this is their day 2 outlook for tomorrow. They have a marginal risk for eastern Iowa, northwestern Illinois, southwestern Wisconsin, eastern Kansas, northeastern Oklahoma, and northwestern Arkansas. And so that's where it is. We have a 2% tornado in Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, and northern Missouri. And so that's what's going on in day 3. This is a very strong front. We're gonna even have a winter storm up to the north in this area, which we're also going to be looking at. We're going to look at snowfall totals and what could actually happen in that area. But first, we're going to look at the severe weather a little bit. So this is my forecast. It's a little bit different from the SPC's, but this is what I think the forecast should look like. I have a slight risk for areas of southeastern Iowa and northern Missouri, and I have a marginal risk going all the way down to Oklahoma and all the way up into Wisconsin. I think that we do have good enough severe weather ingredients in this part of Iowa, and I do think it's setting up with the cold front like this and the warm front up here. We have Cape or ML Cape of almost 3,000 in this area, and so we definitely have good enough severe weather ingredients for a slight risk in that area. That's what I think it's going to look at. I don't know where the SPC is going to issue their slight risk, but that's where I think it should be. Now we're going to look at the NAM model, and we're going to also see, because we're going to have snow. So this is tomorrow morning. You can see we have our low pressure starting to come out into the plains. We have some snow going through areas of northern Dakota and southern North Dakota right there into Minnesota. And we have some rain in that area, along the front probably. Yeah, it's along the front for sure. 15Z, this moves further east. Our low pressure is starting to strengthen. And by 18Z, this is what we have. We have a stronger snow band in northern South Dakota areas like Fargo. You're going to get snow. St. Cloud, Minnesota, you could also get a little bit. You're going to be kind of outlined though. And then you can see we kind of have an elongated low pressure system. We have a little bit of a cold front coming into this area right here. Right now, at 21Z, our cold front's like this, and our warm front's like that. And so that's what we have setting up. And we have moist air and warm air in this area, and that is setting the stage for severe weather. And we're also going to have a snowstorm tomorrow, so it's going to be a pretty interesting storm system. And by 3Z areas like Grand Forks, you could also get a little bit of light snow, but I think we're going to be kind of on the northern end of this. In areas of northern Wisconsin, you could also get some snow. We're going to be looking at different models for this in a second. We're just trying to forecast, we're going to forecast the severe weather. And so at 3Z is when our line really starts to get going in Iowa and down to Kansas. And so it looks like, on the NAM model, it looks like the strongest storms are in central Iowa. I still think that this is going to be the area right here to watch, as you guys see that happens. And we also do have some heavy rain in Wisconsin, but that's to the north of the warm front. So I don't even have that in the marginal risk, because I don't see it having any severe potential. Really, maybe just some damaging winds. I don't really think there's going to be a pretty big hail threat tomorrow. Well, the SPC thinks there's going to be a hail threat over a pretty large area. I do think we're going to have a hail threat tomorrow, though. Down to the south. So yes. We're not going to be using the NAM model for snowfall accumulations. The NAM overdoes cold air sometimes, and so we're not going to be using that for snowfall today. So yeah. Now let's start looking at some of the severe weather parameters. I also got dews. Let's see what kind of dew points we have. X out of that. And also another reason why I haven't been recording is because my screen recorder, I had to get a new one, so sorry if the quality of this video is not very good. I'm going to try and get that fixed for you guys by tomorrow's video, because I'm going to try and post tomorrow. Most of my videos will probably come out around 9 p.m. Eastern time. Alright, so tomorrow we do have moist air coming into this area. Dew is in the low 60s, actually around in the mid 60s already. Decent sized area. But we can see this front is very strong right here. This is a very strong system, as you guys can see. We have very dry air behind us and very moist air. Not very moist air, but moist air in front of this. That's a very strong front right there. And that pushes east and clears out this whole area of more dry air. Now let's look at some of the actual parameters here. Let's look at the, not parameters, let's look at some of the ingredients. So let's look at mixed layer cape first, because ML cape is good to use. And see what we have coming in the area. So in my ML cape of almost 3,000 Iowa. In my slight risk that I had, we have an ML cape of almost 2,000, and my slight risk is right along the warm front too. I think that the best tornado potential tomorrow will probably be in that area. Not that far north. I think it's probably going to be in that area, but we'll have to see. So we are going to have decent cape tomorrow for October. That's actually pretty good for October for the Midwest, for late October especially. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now let's look at what we have with the jet real quick and see what that is doing, because the jet is going to somewhat feel this a little bit, or feel this severe weather event. So we go to tomorrow afternoon. These ads on Pivotal are really starting to get annoying. So we go to tomorrow afternoon. We have a pretty strong punch in the jet right here, and it's going to help. It's going to help our severe weather. Not a whole lot of divergence, but I think that tomorrow's a good day for severe weather. Bigger in a while, and it's in the Midwest and not the Northern Plains or Northeast. See, that's good. So not bad, not bad. Not perfect though, either. But this isn't looking bad. So yeah, now we're gonna go talk about snow. And remember, we're probably not gonna have another video on the severe weather tomorrow unless this goes like enhanced, which I think is the probability of that happening is very low. But you never know, the models could significantly uptrend overnight. So let's zoom in on the northern plains here. We're going to try and get some snowfall accumulations. Actually, let's use pivotal weather, because pivotal weather has cities. So we're going to look at the GFS first, and we're going to go to the regional areas. We're going to go to the, actually we're not. Oh yeah, let's do it. So we can see what's actually going to happen tomorrow. So this is just one model. We're going to look at two different models because the Canadian's going to overdo snowfall probably, like it always does. Alright, so here we are in the northern plains here. Don't know why it's laggy, but alright, so this is tomorrow morning. We have a pretty strong snow band in northern South Dakota, southern North Dakota, and Minnesota. The heaviest snow is kind of in this triple point here tomorrow morning. By 18Z, the heaviest snow is in Wisconsin, and we still have a lot of light snow across South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota. And areas like St. Cloud, Bernard, Minnesota, you're going to get some. Duluth, Minnesota, you are going to get some snow from this most likely. And you could get a good amount. And then Fargo, you're probably going to be on the northern edge of this, but I'm expecting you to get a little bit of snow also. So yes, it's looking like a pretty strong snowstorm. There's also going to be some wind with this. Probably wind gusts up to 20 to 30. So yeah, not blizzard conditions, but a little bit breezy. Now let's look at some of the snowfall here. So let's go to winter weather. We haven't done this in a while. We had our first winter storm named yesterday. It was Abigail for the previous storm, which I didn't have a video on because I forgot or I couldn't do it. But alright, so let's look at some of the GFS snowfall accumulations here. So the GFS's areas like Fargo only getting around 1 to 2 inches, 1 to 3 inches, let's say that. But it has Duluth getting 4 to 5, or probably 3 to 5 inches. And it has the heaviest snowfall over northeastern South Dakota and central Minnesota. Minneapolis, it has you barely getting anything. You could get a little bit, like a dusting, or a little bit of snow on the backside, but not a whole lot. And that's our next system, which we're going to be talking about in a second. But yeah, so that's what the GFS is saying. Let's see what the European's saying, if we can kind of compare it. So that's at 12Z. Let's go to the GFS. Let's go to the European now. So this is the 10 to 1 ratio, so this might be a little different. Why is it 6 hour? Got the pivotal weather is second to load here. Alright, so let's see what it's having for snowfall. So with this first storm, the European does not have the snowfall accumulations as high, and it has the GFS is the strongest snowfall over generally this area, or the most snowfall, but the European has it over this area. So European has a little bit more of a northerly tilt, probably more like a northeastern tilt to it. It has the heaviest snow going to the northeast. As you guys can see right there, it has cities like Fargo getting 2 inches. Cities like Minneapolis, southern side you could get barely anything, maybe just a few flakes. And the northern side actually accumulating snow 2 inches. So that's decent. And it has Duluth, you getting probably 2 to 4 inches. And so yeah, so what we could be seeing here is, my predictions are, as Fargo, you could probably get 1 to 4 inches of snow. It kind of depends. If you live south of Fargo, you could get a lot more than if you live north of Fargo. Not a lot, but more than if you live north of Fargo. And I think Grand Forks, you're probably going to get maybe up to an inch to maybe an inch and a half if you're lucky. And Bismarck, you're probably going to get 2 to 4 inches of snow. Minneapolis, you could probably get up to an inch. I don't think you're going to get 2 inches, but it's never out of the question. But yeah, so one of our first snowstorms of the year is looking pretty good. And so I guess we'll kind of go check on that tomorrow and see how much snow's already fallen in tomorrow's video. But now let's look at our next storm after this. So that's our snowstorm tomorrow. It looks pretty good. It's going to be causing severe weather. And then our next one is the major cold blast, which we're also going to be talking about a little bit. This is going to be one that punches to the southeast. So this is Saturday or Friday afternoon. We have a little bit of snow in western Montana. It really starts to move into the northern plains around Saturday afternoon. We have a lot of light, moderate, and even some spots of heavy snow in this area, like South Dakota, North Dakota, Montana, and Wyoming. But then as we go later, you can see it moves further southeast, brings some light to moderate snow for areas like Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, Wisconsin, and then it comes into to the south, like Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, and releases a ice storm with some snow. And so, if this happens, this would not be a good scenario, and that'll be probably break some, not records, but I could probably break some daily snowfall records. As you guys can see, I'll bring a first snow to a lot of areas like Oklahoma City, probably not Dallas. But Amarillo, Amarillo, I don't think you've gotten snow in Amarillo yet. Kansas City, I guess, could also be your first snow if this does happen. Now, the GFS has been not a whole lot consistent. It really uptrended with the past mono run. Let's see what the CMC is saying. Alright, so the CMC has our blast of snow for, like, the northern plains. It has it a little bit earlier than the GFS, though. And it has it fizzling out really quickly. And not even getting close to Dallas. GFS Pair, this is not really a good model, so I wouldn't really trust it. It doesn't even have it. Has a little bit, not a whole lot though. So yeah, that's the GFS Pair. We're gonna have another update on that. That's gonna be like our second round of snow that does happen. But so probably early next week we're gonna have snow in this area. But what happens down here in this area? That is a question mark. Because the models are pretty uncertain on what's going to happen down there, but they are fairly certain on what's on this area getting some good snow. And let's see how much from that. Is there 24-hour snowfall? Let's look at that. So it has 24-hour snowfall. Some areas over here getting up to 4 inches probably. You can see a decent amount of snow, probably up to like a half foot in some areas of South Dakota, Nebraska. That's just one model though. This could downtrend or could uptrend. We'll have to see. But that'll wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Yes, I'll be back tomorrow. Bye.